Welcome back to the Blues feed. New same obsession, new episode today. We're reacting to the news about the swap deal, the potential swap deal. Clear Lake's favourite thing. Carney Chukwuemeka to Leipzig, Xavi Simons to Chelsea. We're going to react to that, talk about how it impacts both players, how it impacts Chelsea, how the money will work with FFP, and why this is a good deal for all parties. Before we jump into it, we're just going to remind you guys about the giveaway. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a 25-26 kit of your choice. All you have to do is like the video, comment below, or comment on any of the videos we've done to enter into the draw. Once we hit that 1,000 subscribers, we'll get that sorted and reach out to the person who won. So, Luke, we obviously had the news. Carney's come out. The Carney to Leipzig news has come out. Overall, first thoughts on it as a player for Carney, kind of the move for himself.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, to be honest, mate. I mean, you called it on our pod on Monday with Si that you could see something cropping up there, and that was a good prediction from you. But yeah, I think it makes sense. Carney clearly wants to move over to Germany. I think having less pressure, the way the Bundesliga is played, I think all of those sort of things come into a positive move for him. Really, I think he needs to get out of the English limelight. I think he needs to get away from the Premier League and sort of just re-establish himself. He's sort of his career stagnated over the last couple of years through multiple different reasons. Really, injuries at first, and then obviously just isn't fancied by Maresca, which is a shame. And I think the fit for him at Leipzig works. He'll replace Xavi. I think he's a very similar profile in many ways. The way that he picks up space and the way he can carry the ball. They're different in a lot of ways as well. But I just think that he'd be a really good replacement, and they're going to get a really good deal by the sounds of it, and it makes it a little bit easier for us to negotiate with them over Xavi.
Absolutely, mate. I think obviously said that this would be a good thing, and I could see it popping up, and that comes down to Clear Lake. Obviously, like in a swap deal, it kind of gets Carney off the books with his higher wages than we'd probably like to pay for him. Get some money back for the transfer and probably some profit, which we'll come on to shortly. I just think he's probably seen the people like Xavi Simons, people like Gittins, people like Jude Bellingham, Sancho, etc. go over to Germany, do well, and get their move. It's not kind of a dead end move where you go over to Germany and you're not coming back. So I think he needs to play because that will help with his fitness and help with his development. And it's clear, I think, that basically he's kind of not been pushed out as such, but he's not allowed to be used or viewed in the same way as other players due to his wages and probably not being liked as much by the sporting directors. He was a signing before the sporting directors came, and we've seen even with some of the other signings that Vavel made before he moved on, they've been moved on well as well. So I think it's the sporting directors shaping the squad in their image and then also reducing the wage bill. So I think it's a good deal all round. Like you say, it helps with the negotiations. We've heard that it's a priority for both clubs that Carney goes to Leipzig and Xavi Simons comes to Chelsea. So it makes negotiations a bit easy because people aren't going to be as awkward. It's we'll help you or you help us kind of situation. I agree with you as well. The fit for Carney himself for the league, he did quite well in Germany, and I think Leipzig will be better this year as well, which will help him. I think the style of football over there, the kind of transition based football, him being able to attack and run with the ball will fit him very, very well. So yeah, good deal all round. I mean, we reacted to Xavi Simons to Chelsea, and we think that's a very good move. Could push us on to the next level. So yeah, fingers crossed this one gets done. I think it will. To talk about kind of the money situation, obviously Carney Chukwuemeka signed for Chelsea 3 years ago now for 20 million. So he's got 3 years left on his deal. So roughly 10 million pounds left on the FFP book, if you must. So anything over 10 million will be a profit. I think we could get 20 to 25 million for Carney Chukwuemeka, and then Xavi Simons over the line for kind of 50, 55. Very good deal for us, and probably a good deal all round. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the financial package should be good for both sides, and the negotiations should be fairly simple from here. Chelsea will say what they want for Carney, Leipzig will say what they want for Xavi, and generally, I'd imagine they'll probably agree it near enough straight away, as long as it's not silly money. But like you say, if they're dealing with each other over two different deals where they're both going to benefit, neither of them are going to be particularly awkward or demand too much. I can't imagine. So, I think the cost for Carney of around, if we can get say 20 to 25, 10 to 15 mil profit on the books is good. It goes towards then paying for Xavi, who's going to be probably around 50 as an all-in package, really. So I think that's quite nice. You're effectively then buying Xavi for say sort of 25 to 30 mil, and then you look at sort of going slightly off piece. You look at the Renato Vega deal of getting him sold for 35 million. We bought him for 12 last summer, so you're gaining sort of 25 million on him as well, and then you're going to go buy Joel Hato for 40, 45. So you're gonna upgrade two positions massively in Hato and Simmons with a net spend of maybe 50 mil, maybe slightly less. And I just think we said it yesterday, and I've said it a couple of times recently. I just really like the way we're doing business this summer, and it's another one that it sort of feeds into that sort of Clear Lake strategy in terms of age and moving on players that are on a higher wage from the sort of previous directors regime. And I think it just works. I think it's nice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, you bring in kind of, let's say 30 million for Vega guaranteed, 20 million for Carney Chukwuemeka, like guaranteed, with kind of 5 mil extra on both transfers. All of a sudden you're talking 50 million up to 60 million with kind of I would imagine a 50 all in and a 40 45 all in with Hato. It's kind of 50 in 45 out kind of situation with the way we know FFP works as well, with the fact that net spend just kind of hits the books immediately, whereas transfers are spread over multiple years and amortized over the length of the 5-year deal. Yeah, it's going to be great business, because even some of that profit could go towards a goalkeeper, for example, without really having to eat into any other FFP. I think, yeah, so it's a good deal all round. Again, I agree with you that the directors, I think they're learning. I think they've done fantastic business so far. The way they're acting in the market, making sure the players are bought into the project and to the club before actually going and to negotiate with the clubs on the fee. I think it's very good. It's nice to see. It's a lot cleaner than we've had over the last couple of years with the Caicedo saga and missing out on Elise and missing out on Osim and etc. I think, yeah, they've done very, very well.
I like the fact that we're doing it at our own pace, but also it's very, very possible by the 1st of August that our outfield incoming signings are done. If we get Hato and Simmons done in the next sort of week to 10 days, which is definitely possible, Simmons more so, but that from what we've heard, once Renato Vega goes, they're going to step up the Joel Hato chase. So if we get all of our outfield signings done, or near enough all of them done by the start of August, I'll be very pleased with that. I think Chelsea have been renowned for leaving business late in the last few years, and you need to give the players time. And if you can get them all in by sort of when we come back for pre-season, which is the 4th of August, I think that's great business. And then it just leaves us with getting a goalkeeper sorted out and getting the outgoings done for August, which is a good position to be in. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think the one thing that will work really well with, like, if you think about Pedro joining, Gittins joining, Hato potentially coming in, Simmons coming in, most of those players have had a rest already. So that, I think Gittins and Pedro will be reporting back very shortly. to the preseason, whereas other people won't. Hato would have had a break. Simmons is already back into preseason. So signing these players that aren't in the Club World Cup and can come in straight away means that you could start those in the first game while the other players are getting back up to speed or having that rest. Because as we've seen, Cucurella has played every minute of every game for us and Spain all year, so he needs a rest. So the first game against Palace, you could see a situation where Hato starts, Simmons starts, Gittins starts, Pedro starts, Delap starts, for example, and all of a sudden you've got a much fresher squad to start that first game and can kind of build into that season. And the last thing I will say before we wrap this one up is it allows Chelsea to do their favourite thing and look in market opportunities. They can concentrate on sales and getting the other people out, the loans sorted for the younger players, etc., while also looking at the opportunities. People will come to Chelsea all the time with market opportunities. Like Mike Maignan might come back up, for example. So it takes the pressure off the major incomings and allows them to do those market opportunities. So yeah, that was it, guys. That was a reaction to the deal, how it could all play out, how it benefits Chelsea. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you comment to enter into the giveaway, and we'll catch you guys next time. Cheers, guys.